Hello my friends, Dr. Groovy here, Scott Grove. Going to get you into the Resonator. Not a Dobro, that's just simply a brand name, whereas I would have like the name Regal at the top of mine. Dobro is just a brand name made by Epiphone. That's it. So if your instrument says Dobro on it, then it's a Dobro. Okay, a resonator is just an instrument that has a resonator on the top of it. So that's the difference. A lot of people just get that out there, and it has just become something that people accept as real when it's not. It's like having a car, any car in the world, and saying, yeah, I went out and bought a Toyota, and people just saying, what kind is it? Oh, it's a Chevy. And then just a Toyota is just slang for a car. Okay, so we're going to go all the way from sort of beginning to, we're not going to learn how to tune and do all that goofy junk, but I'm going to teach you that if you want to, you can use thumb picks and finger picks. I don't. If you want to use a flat pick, like on a guitar, go right ahead. I don't. A lot of famous people, they do the finger picking style like I do. They do the flat pick style like I will sometimes do. I simply choose not to do it. I'm going to teach you different styles. Okay, so depending on what you're here to learn, we'll cover it all. Okay, so everything from the pretty stuff to the more Western sounding, almost not quite Hawaiian sounding stuff, because you would need to be tuned up to C6 for that, which you would need a whole different set of strings for. Not always a beautiful thing, but if you're really into the Hawaiian or Western swing stuff, that's the way to go, for sure. You can just stop this and go get strings for Western swing stuff. Again, tuning would be C6. So anyway, let's get up and close on the open G tuning and start getting familiar with that, all right? Okay, thanks for sticking around. Remind you that I do not use picks of any sort. I generally will play right around this part of the cone or the resonator. And it makes up, instead of playing up here, it makes up for some of the brightness that is lost when I am not using a pick. If the further back you play, the brighter and more trebly it gets. Okay? As you can hear. Okay, so depending on the sound you want. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we have 3 strings. I know there's 6, but there's only 3 notes on here. We have the first through the 6th string. We have your first one being the D string, then your B, then your G, then it starts over, D, B, and then G again. So of course anything you do on one D string, you could do on the other D string, and on and on. Okay? You have a thumb, you have a first finger, you have a second finger, or a middle finger, or a pointer finger. Well, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you come up with is actually better than what most teachers will tell you that you have to do. Okay? Now what you have to do, teasing, is we're going to pretend like right now that there is no 2nd string and no 5th string. Okay, those are the B strings. They're going to actually be played slightly different, so we're going to omit them right now. So we're going to do what are called hammer-ons and pull-offs with your bar. The bar has to actually play and hit the string directly above where the frets are, the metal pieces that go across here. So like right there, not back here, not up here, but just like if you're bar was to come in contact with the fret itself, just like if the fret was an inch tall and actually hitting the strings. Okay, so we're going to do the D string, your first string, open, meaning nothing on it. Then we're going to do what's called a hammer on, and we actually put the slide bar onto the string. We don't like slide it, that comes later. Okay, even though it's called a slide, it's used for other things as well. So here's how you get the pretty stuff. Okay, we again go to the second fret after the open. That's called a hammer on, when we just slam it on there. And you can bring it towards you to do a pull off. Okay, these are just the names of what's going on. Okay, so get used to just doing that. So you're not going, because that'll happen a bunch. And don't get discouraged, because again, it's going to happen a bunch. Okay, we're leaving out the B string, so the second string we're leaving out. So the next strings we're going to do, again, that's the G string. So we'll do the same as we did on the first string. And then the next string. Then we're going to pretend like the next one's not there. The other B string again. And then we're going to do the last string, the final G string. Okay, so the same thing on all of those. Now what we're going to do with the ones that we did not play, we're going to actually do them on the first fret. So, and same thing. So going on up this whole thing, so we've got second fret, first fret, second fret. Okay, then we do it all over again. Second fret, first fret, second fret. So if I'm doing hammer-ons and pull-offs all the way through, okay, so you can see how that's going to happen. It's just going to take some practice on your end. So that is your lesson for today. I'm not going to stop right away because I want you to have more to go on than just that. Okay, so what's going to happen is a very traditional thing. We're going to go up 5 frets. Okay, so that's going to take us all the way up to your second dot. Okay, this actually takes us from G. You'll recognize this sound. Okay, and just practice on the same one there. So we're actually sliding at this time. We're pushing down hard enough so that the bar makes contact, not like this. Okay, it actually nice and smooth, and it does not go sideways or anything like that. It goes straight all the way up to right above that 5th fret, right past the second dot. Okay, so, and I am actually going on your 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and I'm actually going to use my 3rd finger. Okay, and you can do the same things here. Just got to remember how it went. It went to the 2nd fret. So up here, we have to start here, just like if it was here at what's called the nut. We're going to be starting here, going 2 frets forward, just like we did at the beginning, and then back to where it was. we can't be doing hammer-ons and pull-offs here. We get to slide everything. Okay, and the best thing to do here is to use like a thumb or another finger to mute, dampen, or shut up the string next to it. Otherwise you don't want that yet. Next string, we're just going 1 fret, just like we did originally with the hammer-ons and pull-offs. So the same as before. So here at the 5th fret, now 1 fret, next string 2 frets, start all over, 2 frets, next string 1 fret, last string 2 frets. Okay, which means we can mess around. Okay, I'm encouraging you to mess around instead of making you follow a regiment here. Okay, so a good way to mess around here is thumb, middle finger, first finger. Okay, so notice you have fingers lying on the strings behind the bar. They give stability, and they also keep it from going making weird notes by putting it there. It stops all of that noise. They're called damping fingers. Okay? So I'm just not hitting the first string at the moment. So it just gives you a good way to practice your thumb and fingers and get them doing what is called a backward roll. And we'll do forward rolls later where it's thumb, first finger, second finger. Okay? But as you're doing these, remember you can take that second string and you can go up 1 fret. But again, you have to dampen the other strings, otherwise you don't want that. Just the 1 string. And you can move the other ones 2 frets. Okay, see how that's going, where it's going? Okay, that highest note I did, you don't have to slide up to it. You can go to that 5th fret, but the first string this time. When I went up there, I just went up 2 frets, just like we did at the intro, and like we're doing all these others. 1 fret, 2 frets. Okay, so that's enough for today. Just giving you the basics of what's going on, learning that this is actually just called a resonator, and so on and so on. Getting the hammer-ons, pull-offs, and to know that you can do it on the 5th fret, and if you want to be adventurous, you can go up and do the same things at the 7th fret. So that's what I've got for you for today. Of course, we will get into the typical kind of stuff in a little while. But for now, let's stick to the pretty stuff and learn the instrument, okay? I'll catch you tomorrow and we'll do some more.